Okay. Are we ready to start? So we've lost a lot of weeks as a whole class. It's pretty sad when you think about it. But you guys came in the perfect time. Perfect time being, guess what? Next week, the quarter's done. Did you guys know that?
We have like 8 more days.
The 16th is apparently the last day. So for you guys, the 15th, because we don't come on Fridays.
Yeah.
And so the 15th is the last day. That's our final. So yeah, what does the final consist of? Pretty much everything and anything that we've covered. Make sense? And we are in the peak of what we are supposed to be mastering. What we did last week and what you're continuing on today is something called the order of operations. Who saw the videos on YouTube from last week? No?
I did.
Order of operations. You saw geometry. That's from a different class.
I watched them all.
You didn't look at the right class. Today and the rest of this week, well, today, tomorrow, and then Thursday quiz, obviously, we are going over order of operations, aka Pemdas. Now, we did do this last week. Me and Albert did, at least. Right? Because he was the only one here. But, today is a little different. But let's review very quick what Pemdas are. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Do we know what the P stands for?
Perimeter?
Nope. Yep. Parentheses. It means do whatever's inside first. Then we do our exponents, which is our squares and square roots. You remember our little square rules? Our power rules, I should say, not square. Anything to the power of 0 is what?
Negative?
Nope. Anything to the power of 0 is what? 1. It's a tricky one, remember? Anything to the power of 1 is what?
Oh, it's a number.
Yes. It's the number itself, right? We devoted a whole day to that. Powers and roots. And then, after you get all powers and roots done, you must do any multiplication and division. And yes, you could do division before multiplication, right? That's why these are together. It's pretty much saying you just do whichever one comes first. You work from left to right. For example, you do division first. 2 divided by 2 is 1, huh?
What's MD?
Multiplication and division.
Oh.
So if you have a problem like this, you don't just think multiplication comes first. You don't think that, all right? You just do whichever one comes first. In this case, division came first. That's a rule. They're both equally important. That same rule applies to any multiplication and subtraction. Addition and subtraction. So if you have this, what are you going to do first?
The first one?
Subtraction, which is 3 minus 2, which is 1, plus 5 equals 6. You do whichever one comes first. That's the rule. That's the rule for adding and subtracting and multiplication and division. That's what we did last week, and we were doing problems. We were doing problems like these. We were going over 8 times 7 times 4 plus 8 squared plus 5. Tell me, you guys, what must I do first?
Parentheses.
Parentheses, right? Or in other places, brackets, right? So we have to do all of this. So we go inside there, and what do we do inside?
Multiplication first.
Pemdas, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Multiplication. What comes before multiplication, though?
Well, you wrote it out after.
What comes before
Oh, the highest one?
Yeah, we work from top.
What is the highest?
Well, are there any parentheses?
Oh.
Are there any parentheses inside? No. So you move down your list. Are there any powers or roots?
What is it
Right
called?
there. Exponents.
Exponent.
Look at, there's an exponent inside the parentheses. I got to do that before you do any sort of multiplication or division. That's what the rule tells me. So tell me, you guys, seeing how we mastered powers and roots, what's 8 squared?
16.
Remember, it's not 8 times 2. It's 8 times 8. 64.
How
So
do you read that?
8, this is 8 times 8, not 8 times 2.
Why is it? Oh.
It's 8 times 8. The number multiplied by itself twice. You should really look at the videos.
Exponent.
Exponents, the square
We
powers.
did that during the week that I missed.
Yeah,
Uh,
I suggest you look at the vids.
yeah, no, I will. I would take really good notes.
Thank you. So, if this became 64, you know what you do, you guys? You rewrite everything, but now with your new answer.
Why the answer first?
Every time you make a change, you...
For exponents?
No, anything. Like you solved 8 squared, right?
Oh, no, I understand that.
Yeah, so you just bring everything down with your new changed answer. Like this became that.
Okay, understood.
So now you look at this, you guys, and now tell me, what must I do now? Well, we're still inside the parenthesis world, right? Yeah, still being inside those parentheses, what must I do first? 7 times 4 or 4 plus 64?
You do the whole, everything in the parentheses.
Yeah, we're trying to do that, but what's the first thing you got to do?
7 times 4. Yeah.
Thank you. 7 times 4. What does 7 times 4 become?
28.
So guess what? Yes, you guys, you rewrite everything, or either your new problem.
When do you do the math outside of the parentheses?
Oh, once you've done everything inside the parentheses. So tell me, you guys, what must I do now?
28 plus 64.
Yes, because it's still inside parentheses. So tell me, what does 28 plus 64 become?
Do you want us to write it out?
Yeah.
I can't do it in my head unless I write it out.
What's 8 plus 4?
8, 9,
What's 1 plus 2 plus 6?
6, 7, 8, 9.
92. Guess what? My answer is 92. Do you see how I'm doing it all step by step? This is going to be key for you guys, obviously, right?
How do you pronounce it again?
Ma?
Pemdas?
Pemdas.
Pemdas.
Yep. So now tell me, you guys, what must I do now? Where's my multiplication? What am I multiplying?
Times the answer in the parentheses.
What's 8 times 92? Oh my goodness gracious, this is a big one. Well, guess what? We've mastered how to multiply by hand. What's 8 times 2? What's 8 times 9?
Or 81. No, 72.
Yep, plus 1. So 8 times 9 is 72, plus 1.
73.
So guess what? This has become 736 plus 5. What's my final answer? What's my last thing I got to do? Obviously, the only thing that's left. 736 plus 5. What does that become? What's 736 plus 5?
I was counting the 6.
Do you see how Pemdas work?
Yes.
You guys know how to do this, right? As long as you do it step by step and ask yourself, what does the rule tell me to do? What does the rule tell me to do? What does the rule tell me to do?
It tells you to go write everything out.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. As however many times you need to visibly see all your work. Now, what are we doing today, though? We're still doing PEMDAS, trust me. Well, yeah, we are still doing order of operations, but with a little twist. This is what we did last week, technically. You guys missed it, though. Boo-hoo. Today, you're doing work more like this. Same thing, but there's an extra step, all right? What was my original problem? This one right there? Well, just imagine this, you guys. Imagine the same problem. Let's put a plus this time.
I know, so many letters.
Okay, so now we're doing something a little different. It's still the same thing, okay? What you're given is, instead of just the operation already done for you, they want you to do an extra step. They have given you an expression. This is an expression because obviously now we are dealing with letters. Do you guys see the X and the Y? Know that X does not stand for multiplication. It's an X. It's an unknown number, right? But the question is this. Evaluate the expression, as in, what is the answer of the expression when X equals 2 and Y equals 5, let's say. Pretty much it's saying, when you input 2 and when you input 5, what is my final answer?
Is it elevated?
What?
I mean, do you do it the same way as the exponent?
No, what we have to do, you guys, is input our what they're telling us to do, input it into wherever those letters are. So
how do you get the answer X equals 2 and Y equals 5?
they give it to you.
How?
They say, give me the answer of this expression right here when X equals 2 and Y equals 5. They just give it to you. They give it to you on the side like this.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. I have worksheets on there right here.
The problem that you laid out is 7 plus X plus Y 2.
Yeah, so this is the thing. It's your job to input those in. So this is what you have to
I
do.
know, but how do you find X equals, oh, that's like high school or college?
High school.
High school?
What? How about, look, watch what I'm about to do.
Okay.
Watch what I'm about to do.
I'm just trying to understand because I'm going to take the test and I'm going to see the...
You're going to see this,
And I'm going to see...
and you're going to, the question is this.
a question.
This is the question word for word. Evaluate the following expression when X equals 2 and Y equals 5.
And they're going to have that...
They're going to
like
have
a
that
key bar
there.
on the side?
Yeah, sure, on the side or the way this worksheet
For one
looks like.
question.
For this one question.
Okay. I just want to know because
I know,
layout is like
I-
really important and it's really tricky, like the actual math questions.
Your job, my friends, is to wherever you see an X, put in a 2. So you put in a 2, right? Wherever you see a Y, you put a 5. You see that? Do you see that? See how simple that is? It's literally just like order of operations, except you have to input the numbers first. Why is this important to do and practice? Well, because let's say you're a master of order of operations. Let's say you've memorized Pemdas and you know exactly how to solve them, right? The hardest part here that I see a lot of students have is it's actually pretty funny when you think about it. For some reason, students have brain fart moments and they put in the wrong value. For X, they accidentally put in 5. You see that? They do the opposite. This happens regularly. So it's up to you not to accidentally make a mistake. Put in the correct values in for the variable. This is going to be key to get the correct answer. Now you just solve this the way we did with the other problem. Now we just use this expression right here, and we do Pemdas. Parentheses, spot any parentheses, spot any exponents, spot any multiplication or division, and spot any adding and subtracting. Oh yeah.
Multiplication and then division?
No. Multiplication or division, whichever one comes first.
Go in that layer of order.
Parentheses is definitely always first.
Yeah.
Exponents is definitely second. And then multiplication and division or division, whichever one comes first. And then adding and or subtracting.
So that's just an order.
That's an order of operations. It's a straight up rule.
Can I ask why?
No.
Why? I have to ask why.
I know, but then we spiral into the
So it's just
ancient.
saying that that's the actual layout and you have to do it because if you don't do it that
You
way.
get the wrong answer. So here you would go into parentheses first, right? And then when you're inside this parentheses, you still have Pemdas circulating in your head, and you decide to do this, then you do this, then that, then you break it out of the parentheses, and bada bing, bada boom. Exactly what we just did. Not a big deal. But you're going to practice your skills today of inputting. You are going to practice your skills of getting numbers and putting it where it tells you to. X equals 2? No, you're solving it for me, yes. You're still using, we're still practicing Pemdas while inputting. We're just adding an extra twist to it. So please give me my answer. You want me to finish this one off for us? You want to do this example?
Yes.
Well, how about we see whether you're right. What must I do first here?
The parentheses.
Exactly. So, yeah, so I'm inside the parentheses. And now what? What could I do here? Do I do adding, or an exponent?
Exponent.
So what does my 5 squared become? Make sure to rewrite your problem. This became...
I have a question before we go on, sorry.
Yeah.
Every time there's an exponent, like a number and a letter right next to each other, that always means multiply, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. As in, if this didn't have a plus there, you would technically be multiplying 8 times whatever this answer becomes. But in this case, we have an addition problem there, right? So, now what I do? What's the remaining thing I must do inside the parentheses?
Do the first problem.
My 7 plus 5?
Yes.
What's 7 plus 5?
12.
All right, what's 12 plus 25?
Wow. I can't see.
12 plus 25.
I have to lay it out in the right order. 7, 3.
How did the 7, or like 2 rows up, how did the 7, how did the 2 turn into a 5? Like the
25?
right underneath the white. No, the number before that.
Oh, I'll tell you why. It's because I made a mistake.
Okay, I saw that. Like, wait, I didn't.
That's a 2, you guys. Why do you tell?
Backwards.
I did. I did it correct there. Oops. I did it correct there, but for some reason I brought down a 5. Wow, wow, you guys. That was a straight up brain fart moment. What's 7 plus 2?
7, 8, 9.
9. So now ask yourself, what's 9 plus 25?
9 plus 25. Can you write it out? Because that's the only time I can actually understand it. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then carry.
Cool. Nice spot there. So now what do I do?
I'm lost again. Oh, 8 plus 34 plus 5.
Yep. What's 8 plus 34? 42. What's 42 plus 5? 47 is my answer. Is that what you got?
I got 48.
Oh, there was a small little mistake then somewhere. Yep, 47. So it's just like order of operations. We're practicing our order of operations skills still. But just keep in mind to put in the correct numbers for the
If it's
variable.
keyed on the side.
Oh, it's given, yes.
Okay.
These practice problems are given.
If I don't know that it's like the exponent, I understand that. Like where it's 5